Hi there, it's Merc. It's me, yeah. And we've got another league. This is PGL Miners, and for this I'm going to be trying something different for these videos. And what I'm going to try and do is live team building. So I'm not sure if I'm going to put up a draft analysis for this league because I'm just feeling kind of lazy right now. But if I don't, then my draft is Ash Greninja, Kyurem Black, Xurkitree, Silvally, Nidoqueen, Tapu Bulu, Cobalion, Cofagrigus, Talonflame, Mega Blastoise, Alolan Golem, and Masquerain. So you can see I have a lot of threats on my team. Definitely more offensively based team. There's a fair bit of volt switching and U-turning going on, and just a lot of very hard hitters. And it was a point system, not a free draft, but I was still able to get a lot of very spooky stuff because the point system was it was pretty nice to take advantage of. And my opponent for week 1 is Bronson, coach of the Portland Poliwags. I guess he's a friend of Chris, who is a good friend of ours, so that means he does have some street cred in my eyes. And I was talking to him and he was talking about he's in like a million different leagues, so I don't know how much of that I believe, but we'll take his word for it, I guess. But he's got also a very disgusting team. He's got Magearna, Mega Venusaur, Infernape, Weavile, Dugtrio, Porygon 2, Alomomola, Necrozma, Jolteon, Nidoking, Hoopa, normal form, and Druddigon. So he's got a lot of bulky mons, he has a lot of offensive mons, and he has just some very scary things. So he's got a pretty interesting range of speeds, going from Druddigon at 48 all the way up to Jolteon at 130. He does have some speed gaps, going from 120 down to 120 down to 108, which isn't substantial. I don't have anything in that gap that can abuse that necessarily. I mean, I can run some bulk on my Greninja, it looks like, but that's about it. So let's just kind of look at his team. I'm not sure how these are going to go. I might edit teams afterwards, but I'm just going to try and go through some of my building and talk about it and stuff. So we've got a lot of mons that we have to prepare for. So obviously Magearna is a humongous threat to my team. Infernape is a pretty big threat to the team. I mean, Magearna, it can come in on an Ash Greninja if it's very bulky. It can potentially come into Kyurem. I wouldn't say it can come into Xurkitree that well because I could Tail Glow and then hit it very hard. Silvally, depending on the set. Nidoqueen is a nice check to it. It should be able to come into a Tapu Bulu. If it's defensive, potentially into Cobalion. Same thing with Cofagrigus, but I can Shadow Bullet and whittle it down. Talonflame is a nice check to it because I can Flare Blitz it. I don't think it's going to be one of taking hits from Blastoise because it's going to hurt. Alolan Golem can hurt it a fair bit, but I don't know if I'm going to want to bring that in. Masquerain's just kind of whatever. Quiver Pass is allowed in this league. Looking at it, I'm not sure if I want to Quiver Pass into anything in particular, just because his team is so bulky that I don't know if I'd be able to properly do breaking, though it looks like Quiver Pass in a Nidoqueen would be very strong, but I just don't think that a +1 Nidoqueen would be quite strong enough to bust through Porygon 2 and Mega Venusaur. So some interesting things to look at. His offensive mons are Magearna, which is most certainly coming. Infernape is probably coming. Weavile could definitely come. It's a big threat to the team. It outspeeds a lot of my team. Dugtrio's iffy. I mean, if he's very much fearing like Nidoqueen and Xurkitree, then he could bring it. I'm not sure how much, if he's going to want to bring it and if it's going to fit on his team since he has so many good mons. Porygon 2 is very annoying. It's looking like it's his best switch into Greninja and Kyurem and even Nidoqueen. So that could definitely be I would not be surprised to see P2 at all. Alomomola is definitely looking like a frustration. The catch-22 on that is that if Alomomola is in, then Tapu Bulu gets a free hit off, but Venusaur hard walls, but if Kyurem Black comes in, then, or if Venusaur comes in, then Kyurem can come in on the Venusaur and get a free hit off. So, which either P2 or Alomomola can come in on. Kyurem Black is definitely looking like a huge threat to his team though. I have a set in mind. I've been thinking about this match a little bit. Defensively, it's actually very, very nice. He has not a ton to kill it with, and Magearna coming in on is very scary, but I do think I have the mons that can deal with it. So looking at the team, I definitely like how Kyurem Black matches up. I think that I don't think Xurkitree Xurkitree's iffy because it's gonna have a hard time breaking down the Mega Venusaur. I could run Z Hypnosis, which would actually be very, very nice. That could prompt him to bring something like a Scarfed Dugtrio or a Scarfed Nidoking to help deal with that. So that's a possibility. If I was going to run that set, I'd probably run like Thunderbolt and maybe like Hidden Power Psychic. Yeah, that wouldn't be bad. So that's definitely a consideration. I'll put like an or no, that's silly. I'll put like a carrot. But so Kyurem Black's definitely coming. Silvally Fire actually looks pretty nice because Fire Silvally can switch into the Magearna, which looks very helpful. It can switch into the Venusaur and Parting Shot it. I can switch into the Weavile, which is also very nice. And Parting Shot is just looking kind of nice, so I think I want to put that on the team right now. Nidoqueen is another Magearna check, which is very, very nice. His Dugtrio is looking pretty menacing to some of these mons that I want to bring, but ideally Dougie would only be able to trap one thing. And Nidoqueen just looks very strong because it has stall breaking potential, and he has a very bulky stall kind of team in some aspects, and getting up Stealth Rocks is nice. I've got this, and I've got Cobalion, and I have Golem to set up rocks, so I'll probably so I might want to do that. Tapu Bulu is very, very dangerous against his team. However, he does have the Nidoqueen, or the Nidoking, rather, that can outspeed and kill it. He has Venusaur, which can just kind of switch into it. He has Infernape and Weavile, which can revenge it, and Magearna comes in on it. So I don't think that Tapu Bulu is going to be my top choice. Though if I really need it, then for something, then it could be a good thing, because it's my best way to really, one of my best ways to really dent the Aloe. So I want to see, does Xurkitree get like U-turn or something, because like, no, it doesn't. There's no way it gets Baton Pass, and I'm just going to scroll through its moveset because I'm not that familiar with what it does. If it got like U-turn, then U-turn Volt Switch would be pretty interesting on it, or something like that. It gets Ingrain, that's interesting. It's like a tree, I guess, so that's cool. Like a Z weather move would be kind of interesting, but that would mean I'd have to use 2 turns to set up, and that's not something I like. Right, I keep getting sidetracked. Cobalion, it's a nice check to Weavile, and like a Swords Dancing Cobalion wouldn't be that bad against his team, so it's definitely a consideration. Cofagrigus, he's got 2 pretty sturdy, or not, well, he's got 1 really sturdy Ghost Resist and a Weavile, which threatens it, so I don't like its matchup. Also, Hoopa can come in and really pressure my team with that, and that's kind of not awesome. See, Talonflame is really good against his team, because it really pressures the Venusaur, it pressures the Magearna, Infernape, Weavile, Dugtrio. Definitely want to bring Talonflame, and because I've got Kyurem Black, possibly Fire Silvally, and Talonflame, I definitely need to bring Blastoise to spin. So that gives me 4 definites. Golem and Masquerain, I don't exactly see what their purpose on this team would be, so I'm going to count them out for the moment. So let's just see what we've got so far. We've got Kyurem Black, we've got Talonflame. I'm just going to move my mic so that I can type a little easier. Yeah. Talonflame, we've got Silvally. I'm just going to see if any of the other typings kind of get my fancy. I don't think any of them will. Silvally Ice, not really. Yeah, I think Fire is what I want to go with, or yeah, because I really do need that, a way to check the Magearna. And then Blastoise is like certainly needed on a team with 3 rock weaknesses. And looking at this, what does this team like lose to it? Looks like, well, and what kinds of things do we need to check? So I have to be able to check every kind of Magearna. So I think that Fire Silvally and Talonflame can handle most sets, because Silvally's bulky enough to take on a Trick Room set, and if he brings offensive, Talonflame should be able to knock it out with a Flare Blitz. And Talonflame just looks very nice against his team in general. So that's very cool. So on this Silvally set, what do I want? Obviously multi-attack, because it's a fire move, and this is a nice way to check that Magearna, because if he Calm Minds up, I'm still hitting it pretty hard, and I just want to see how much Silvally is going to be doing against it. So fire multi-attack versus a Magearna. Obviously, I'm not sure how well integrated this calc is with that, but so I'm probably gonna have to see. That's Adamant. I'm probably going to be running a more bulky sort of spread, so let's just say we're Jolly. That does a fair bit, and like a Floor Cannon, or I can't type, Floor Cannon or Thunderbolt. Those are doing, if he's offensive, he's modest probably. Those really don't do that much, and that's without any bulk on my Silvally, so that's really cool. Multi-attack, of course, definitely want Parting Shot, because that's just a great move to lower my opponent's defenses, and I'm a big fan of that. And I'm not sure what else I want to do with this set. It's a real shame it doesn't get recovery. That's kind of one of the reasons why it's not as good as it could be. Heal Block is very interesting on this thing, because he has a lot of recovery on his team. Venusaur, Alomomola, Porygon 2. Having a Heal Block up would be pretty nice to, if I can Heal Block, then I'm going to go with it, yeah. If I can Parting Shot after I Heal Block and go into like Kyurem or Talonflame, then I can really pressure stuff like Alomomola or Porygon, because it just looks like this set can do a lot, or what am I trying to say? If you can't recover, then Kyurem and Talonflame are really going to punish his team, because he's going to rely on switching defensively into those, because of his offensive mons are very frail. That's a common theme. Aside from Magearna, Infernape, Weavile, Dugtrio, Necrozma is also an exception, but Jolteon, Nidoking, Hoopa on the defensive side, all of those mons can get O-code by stuff, so that's pretty cool. So that's, yeah, a very cool thing. So I've got mono fire coverage right now, so my ideas are I could run Toxic. Just kind of scrolling through everything it gets, because I'm still not completely sure on what it learns. I'm not sure. Poison Fang would be kind of funny, but not needed, I think. I'm gonna leave it open for now, but let's move on to Kyurem. So Kyurem is a very interesting one. I kind of want to just bring like Chocolberry looks pretty good, because his best revenger for it is Infernape, and after that Weavile, and both of those are going to try and hit me with a fighting type move, so I think Chocolberry is going to be good. And Kyurem is bulky, and I want to take advantage of its bulk in this game, so I think Toxic Roost gives me a lot of leeway against his team, because I can Toxic the Porygon 2 and the Alomomola and the Necrozma which are 3 things that are most likely to switch into this because I have Terravolt. He is not going to be wanting to stay in with his Venusaur because I can OHKO him or get close to knocking him out. And the coverage, I'm not exactly sure on, so I want Ice Beam because Ice Beam is very, very good against this team. He does not have a ton of Ice Resist, and now the question is, do I want Earth Power? Because Earth Power lets me hit the Magearna and the Infernape and the Jolteon for more damage. But if I want to hit the Almol for super effective damage, then I would have to run Bolt Strike. But that does leave me a lot more open to Magearna, and I want to be able to. I want everything on my team to be able to hit the Magearna because it's such a problem. And Earth Power is just kind of nice to hit a lot of his team for damage. So let's see what kind of speed is going to be running. His fastest thing that I'm outspeeding is the Nidoking, and because I have Xurkitree at 83, he's most certainly going to be running near max speed, so it's not even worth speed creeping the creep with Kyurem, but I definitely think that I want a bulkier set. So I'm just going to see how much we need to outrun a Nidoking that's running max speed. So I need to hit 296, so I'm going to run Timid, hit 296. I have to be at 297. That's unfortunate. That makes me want to just run. Yeah, I'm greedy. I'm just gonna see what kind of speed creep we can get off of this because meta speed creeping's fun. So he would be hitting. I'm just gonna make sure there's no EV jumps here. So yeah, he would be hitting 292. So I want to hit 293. With this, yeah, so I can get a little more HP and I'm not wasting EVs as much. And for the HP investment, I want to be able to, I mean, Kyurem is extremely bulky. I mean, 125, 190 is just insane. It's absolutely ridiculous. Definitely. Okay, so my attack is zeroed out, still 310, which is absurd. It's only slightly lower than me at max special attack Timid. So I kind of want Kyurem to be able to switch into some stuff. So I want to see like how much is it doing? How much is Nidoking doing to me? Because Kyurem is looking like it could be a pretty decent switch into this. Yeah, Earth Power is doing to a no bulk invested one. Earth Power is doing 50 to 61, and if I'm like max HP, Earth Power is doing very little. And versus Venusaur is definitely something that I want to be able to switch into. If he's defensive, then he's not doing much, and if he is the offensive set, he's not doing half. So I think I want to run max HP on this, because this is also going to allow me to stall some stuff out, it looks like. So, and then we have 96 in special attack. Is that going to be enough for not getting crucial knockouts on his team? We'll find out, because I want to be able to hit his team. So against a Mega Venusaur, it's guaranteed to 2-hit KO it. If he's like Calm, Spadef, that's odd. Does it consider thick fat? Yeah, okay. So it's really bulky, but would he bring Spadef? He could, I guess, because it's a nice switch into Nidoqueen. But I figured and Ash Ninja, I guess. So I think I want to be able to. Oh wait, I need to also see what is his hazard removal, because I didn't think about that. So he does not have any. Okay, so that means I really want to run rocks, because once they're up, and his team is a little bit vulnerable to it. I'm looking at mons like Weavile and Infernape, those things that want to come in and hit my team a lot. They might not be able to as much. So also this team is pretty darn weak to still looking weak to Magearna, even if I have those mons, and Jolteon looks very annoying and that kind of thing. So yeah, I think we want to run Nidoqueen, because it's our most reliable stealth rocker. Let's see what else. I have a set in mind that could do pretty well, but even just Life Orb offensive would not be awful against his team. So what's this team looking weak against? Hoopa looks annoying, but once again, I'm not sure if he'll want to bring it because he has so many other good mons, and it's just kind of inviting Ash Ninja in. And so for the last slot, what's this team not breaking down? So Kyurem is going to be doing a chunk to Magearna. It's a really nice answer to Venusaur. I think it's a pretty much definite answer to it. Infernape, because if I have the Chople Berry intact, then I can take a hit and hopefully knock it out. I'm just gonna make sure I can knock it out with an Earth Power. I can't knock it out at any point, but at the same time, I can definitely knock it out at -1. Once it's at -1 Spadef. Yeah, it just drops. Let's see, the Nidoking, it just dies. Even if he's running like if he's running a lot of defense, then he can live this hit, but bulky Kyurem is it's really nice. It checks a lot of his team, it looks like, so I'm a fan of that. And I'll get some nicknames at the end, I think. Talonflame. Talonflame is extremely nice because it outspeeds the Magearna and it can Flare Blitz it. It can pressure the Venusaur with Brave Bird. I'm not even convinced it'll bring Venusaur in this game because he can still switch into the Bulu okay with his Magearna, and he has ways to offensively pressure it, so there's no guarantee that Venusaur is coming. However, Talonflame just does a lot of work against his team. And it looks like a bulk up set would be pretty good against him too. So yeah, bulk up would be actually really good against him. I'm kind of inclined to maybe run a Z move on this thing. If I like Z move Fire or Z move Bird. Z move Bird, amazing. Would be good, because it doesn't look like I have I don't really have any kind of win condition on this team, and if I can do something like Toxic the Alomomola and Toxic the Porygon, then a bulk up Talonflame would look pretty good. So that's a thing. So I've got bulky Silvally. Also it works nicely with if I can heal block and then Parting Shot out, then that would be not a bad idea. Like I think he'll run Toxic on some mons just to deal with things. So I can't afford sub bulk up, unfortunately, but just bulk up 2 attacks wouldn't be bad. But do I even need the setup? I might. So I should kind of think about what I want for this last slot. So, and I might even consider not bringing Talon. No, I really appreciate the speed on this team. And I could just bring a pivot set, because you turning around if I have a strong recipient would be nice. It's looking like I can deal with the Nidoking pretty well. Or pretty okay, I guess. Not well, but like Kyurem can check it, Talonflame sort of checks it, Blastoise should be able to take a hit from it. Because I really do want to bring Tapu Bulu, because if he doesn't have the Venusaur, or if Venusaur is weakened, then Bulu can do a ton of work. And I do have some ideas of how Tapu Bulu can actually deal with that mon. So let's play around. I mean, he could also bring the Druddigon, which, I mean, Druddigon's kind of annoying for this team. But it doesn't have recovery. And so that's interesting. Also, I like Bulu for the fact that it gives me some net recovery on this team. And, I mean, Druddigon, I've got Kyurem can threaten it, Blastoise can threaten it, Nidoqueen can threaten it. I feel like I should be able to weaken it. And Tapu Bulu does have a lot of potential to hit his team hard late. And it gives me something that can most certainly wall break through the Alomomola and the Porygon 2. And I think he'll either bring like offensive fast Venusaur to check this, or he'll bring outright defensive. So let's just kind of consider the options, because I can run Z-Move and Zen Headbutt, or I could run Z-Move Nature's Madness, and what that would do would just take a chunk out of Venusaur so that I could just knock it out afterwards. And also do the same thing against Porygon. Or if I don't want to face the recoil against Druddigon, I can do that. So also this is a nice check like Dugtrio, Necrozma, yeah, Magearna. I'm gonna do it. Yeah, let's do it. Tapunium, whatever. Nature's Madness, and then I think just Hornleech would be fine, because the recovery is very inviting, and he doesn't have a lot that switches into it. And then like Zen Headbutt to pick off a weakened Venusaur would be appreciated. I don't want to have something that can just kind of let it come in. Zen Headbutt, and what do we need aside from that? Because we can Nature's Madness the Magearna on the switch in and get a lot of damage off on it. We can Madness into Zen Headbutt and ideally break the Venusaur. There's no reason he would ever switch in either of these things, because I should be able to knock him out with a Zen Headbutt or a Wood Maneuver. None of these guys like taking that Hornleech, so I kind of want to run just Sword Stance. Yeah, Sword Stance would be very, very good, because it should ideally pressure the Magearna as well. Tapu Bulu, Adamant Meadow Plate, let's just say Tanga Berry. Also, what kind of speed am I gonna want to run in this? So he's got the Hoopa at base 70. Do I want to outrun that? Is there a reason he'd run a fast Hoopa? Because Hoopa's slower than like my whole team, so if he's going to be running it, it looks like he'd possibly want like a very bulky, modest attacker, or he would want like Choice Scarf. That's kind of what I'm thinking for it. Obviously, I don't know everything, but I know a lot. I'm also tempted to make this like dark or water or something like that, because that would help me out against some things, but then I keep remembering that Magearna checks are extraordinarily important, because I just got 6-0'd by one of those and I don't want to go through that again. So that's definitely something. I'm kind of all over the place in this. I'm just kind of thought processing it out, so I'm just going to go over the things I need. I need Rapid Spin on this, I need Rocks on this. I think this Tapu Bulu set is kind of cool. And I really want to run Adamant because of the reasons I stated, but I could also run just I need to outspeed, or I want to outspeed a max speed Magearna, and Hoopa is not that far off from that. But I don't see a reason he would run max speed Hoopa unless he was going to be like Salac Berry, which would be kind of cool, or just Choice Scarf. Because, let's see, for a Hoot, well, it doesn't even matter what speed he's running if he's Scarfed, because I'm not going to outspeed him. Silly. Very silly. I think Bulky Talonflame is actually going to be a nice mon for this team, to be honest, because Taunt Roost, Ton is going to be extremely nice to wear down the Mola and the P2, especially if I can Toxic it with Curum, which I do think is a possibility. But just having Taunt and Roost is a good combination. Then just Dual Stab is not bad. I don't really care about burning things because Burn got the nerf, and just taunting his whole team and then allowing my threats to come in and threaten them is not bad. So I think that's kind of cool. I think that can work. Because Sword Stance, I just don't think it's strong enough to be able to knock out the Aloe and the P2. I just don't think it is. Let's see. And if I do have this Bulu set, then I'm a lot less scared of those two, because I know that Tapu Bulu can take a hit from them and then Sword Stance and then just like Horn Leech them to death, because it's a very strong Pokemon. I'm just up in the air about if I want to outspeed the Hoopa, because like maybe he'll, if anything, he'd want to, if he's running an offensive set, I'd think he'd just want enough speed to outrun like a bulky Silvally or something like that. So let's just see what speed that is hitting. 226. I do a fair bit of guesswork in my things, but so 226. Where does that hit for Hoopa? If he's max speed modest, that's going to be hitting 239. So he'd be running, if he's modest, he'd be running near max speed. And the other thing, I don't know. I think just guarantee outspeeding it would be kind of nice for me. Yeah, that's not bad. I might just want to run Black Sludge on this Nidoqueen so that I can have a better pivot into Venusaur. Though, I don't know. Talonflame and Curum should be able to pivot it. Like, if firing off Sludge Bombs definitely looks annoying to this team, but I don't think there's a whole ton I can do about that. And, I mean, if I know the Venusaur's coming in, then I can Guardian of Alola it, and then knock it out with a Zen Headbutt. And if it's offensive, then I've got, like, a ton that can knock it out. I definitely think that a fast Venusaur could be an option, because it's a more certain way to deal with, like, the Bulu and the Venusaur, or the Blastoise and stuff. But if he's running that, then I can still deal with it. So I'm pretty happy with these 6 months. I just need to finalize the move sets. So do I want Flame Body? Yeah, I want Flame Body. Flame Body's good. I don't really have a need for Gale Wings, I would imagine. What's Flame Body going to be good for? It's good for if Weavile knocks me off. And that's it. Yeah, just looking at it, nothing on his team really makes contact. So I think just having Gale Wings in the back in case I really need priority is going to be nice. So let's think about what we want for an item on Talonflame. So lefties is always nice. We can run a plate. Just like Sky Plate wouldn't be bad at all. That would actually be really nice on it. I'm already running my Z Crystal on Tapu. I could have run Z Fly, or Flyinium Z. So that could have been neato. I also need to figure out some stuff. So I'm having a hard time figuring out what I want on Talonflame and on Silvally. So let's get Nidoqueen and Blastoise through. So Blastoise is a pretty nice offensive threat. I'm just gonna double check its coverage because I don't use Blastoise a whole lot. It gets so much coverage. it gets a ton. That's incredible. Is there any meme opportunities? Oh, of course there is meme opportunities. But do we want them is the question. So, okay, let's just look at his team. So, obviously, I can't touch the Venusaur with this set. That's apparent. But it's given at this point that I can take it on in other ways. So, just Scald or Sphere hits his team neutrally all the way, and that could let me run some sort of support move, Scald or a Sphere, and I could like run Hydro Pump, but his team, I feel like Scald will do enough. So of course having Dark Pulse to hit the Necrozma and the Hoopa is good. It also gives me a neutral hit on the Venusaur. Is there anything I could want? Haze sounds kind of cool. Refresh is also a thing that looks neat. Toxic, of course, is always an option. Though the thing... Toxic would be kind of cool. Yeah, Refresh is cool. Yawn's interesting, though. I'd much rather have that on like a Hazards support team. Whirlpool. We're getting into some dangerous territory here. Well, how are we looking against Necrozma? Necrozma's a big threat to this team. I think that I want a second Toxic user on this team, so I'm going to throw it on Silvally, I feel like, because while I can't touch stuff like the Aloe and the Infernape, Infernape's not going to switch into me because I'm still doing decent damage to it. I can Toxic it, and having that second Toxic mod to ensure more of his team's status is really nice. Toxicking the Necrozma is a great way to check it. Yeah, I have Toxic, I have Taunt, I have Heal Block. I definitely like my odds of being able to deal with that. And Scald or Sphere, I think I'm just going to go with the coverage and Dark Pulse because that Blastoise does definitely pressure his team, especially if he's if he doesn't bring the Venusaur, then I think he has to bring Venusaur because it's his only reliable switch. And I mean, yeah, Alomomola can come in, but if he doesn't bring both Aloe and Venusaur, then Tapu Bulu and plus Blastoise should do a lot. And I just love the fact that Grassy Surge is going to be healing up my Mons in this game. That's just wonderful. So Nidoqueen, what do we want on this set? I don't need Toxic Spikes at this point. Obviously Earth Power is going to be good because, wait, does he have... He has no ground immunity. He has no ground immunity. Am I missing something? No, he doesn't. That's insane. So I only need Earth Power against his team, which is really, really cool. Earth Power, yeah, that's pretty nice. And just judging on the nature of his team, I think I want Black Sludge because having a nice check to the having another Mon that can switch into the Magearna, because you can never have too many, switch into the Infernape a little bit, that kind of thing is cool. Also, hardwalling the Jolteon is nice, and that sort of thing. Those are all very good things. And the fact that I hit everything with Earth Power is just incredible because I can run some support moves on this, which I really, really like. So Taunt is another good option. A second Taunter makes my matchup significantly better. It really does, because if I can break through those Pokemons, then that's very, very helpful. And I've got so much anti-stall on this team. I've got 2 Toxic Mons, I've got the Heal Block, I would potentially have 2 Taunt Mons. I'm just going to make sure, Heal Block does just prevent the foe from healing. I thought that was the case, but I just wanted to be sure. I've got an idea of what I want. So I want Super Fang on this. I'll just put it out there because Super Fang is great on a defensive Mon like this because its switch-ins take 50%, and that's beautiful. Sub would be kind of interesting That would be very interesting. I'm just looking and thinking of what else could I put on this set that would be helpful. I've got 2 Toxic Mons, I've got a Taunter. I could potentially run Taunt on this as well. There's always the case for running memes. Like, there's never a reason not to run memes if you want to. Most of this video has just been me scrolling through my Mons movesets, so that's cool. Let's see. I think just another Taunter is going to be good because Talonflame is a less reliable defensive one. And this is looking pretty cool. So we've got some nice fire, water, grass action with double fire, water, and a grass. Then we've got a dragon, and we've got a ground type. So we're covering a lot of our defense bases, and this is 41 minutes long. Holy cow! I'll probably make these separate videos if that's the case. Then, well, though I might just make these incredibly long. No, probably not. So we've got a bulky Kyurem, which has a little offense, but that's really all we need because just the nature of his team is that I don't need a ton of power to bust through it. I think just bulk and the ability to outlast him is going to do him in. I just want to see how much Magirna is taking from this. I'm not going to calc Assault Vest because if he brings an Assault Vest Magirna, then I honestly don't care what it does because it can't beat me, I don't think. Kyurem B. I'll just go to blank set. That's easier. With 96 and Earth Power, I don't anticipate this will be doing much. Oh, wow. Is that right? Cool. So an Earth Power is doing a lot, which I like. If he's Assault Vest, it's doing significantly less, but it's still damage, which I like. And I have Silvally to switch in, and I've got Nidoqueen to switch in. Blastoise is going to be crucial to Rapid Spin for this team, but I have a fair bit of Mons that I can get a free spin off of. Like, I can come in on a Weavile if I really want to and Rapid Spin against it. I can spin against the Alomomola anytime. Druddigon, I should be able to just force out and spin on. He can't really spin block me with Hoopa because I have Dark Pulse, which I've seen a Hoopa live a Dark Pulse from a Mega Blastoise because that has a very good SpDef stat, and it can run an Assault Vest or a Berry, but it's doing a ton. So I definitely think there's Mons that I can Rapid Spin against, which is nice. And I do have, I've got Taunt on this. Yeah, I still think Taunt is going to be very helpful just to completely shut some of his spooky Mons down. And then Tapu Bulu is a really nice offensive win condition at the end that can just kind of blow his team away once I've properly whittled things, which I most certainly should be able to whittle this team down. Then just the Guardian of Alola to top it all off looks pretty nice. So I think this is a good team. Alright, so let's crack to it and finish off these spreads. So we need Kyurem is done. We need an item on Talonflame. I'm thinking just lefties is gonna be good so that I can check stuff. Yeah. Lefties or Sky Plate or even the Flame Plate would be decent. So let's just see how much Talonflame does to this Mon. I mean, there's also the possibility that he just won't bring it. Flame Orb, sure. Oh, well, Talonflame can't be burned. Fist Plate, yeah, let's go with that. So if I'm Jolly, because I'm going to be running Jolly, Flare Blitz does a lot. It does a whole lot. If I'm non-offensive, it still does a lot. And I'm fine with doing 50% to this, because a bulkier set is going to give me a nice check to like Infernape, because that's definitely spooky. And I switch into its dual stab quite nicely, and Talonflame should be able to chew hits from Magearna even, because I can roost off against T-Bolts, which is its best way of hitting me. And I can even take a hit from like Nidoking if he's running like Sludge Wave or something. So I think fast, bulky Talonflame is going to be my way to go in this. Yeah, I like that idea. And Gilwing's Ore, I mean, Gilwing's is kind of cool, so we can just keep it. And we need to outrun a Weavile that is going to be speed creeping a Greninja. This is just so I can get as much speed as I can. So Weavile, 383, so it's going to be hitting assumably 378. Yeah, so I want to hit 379 with my Talonflame. You can't, okay. 379. I don't want to risk it. Outspeeding Weavile is extremely important for me, and it's only a few EVs for me, so I hit 384, which is just a tick off. I have to hit 248. That's too bad. Well, that's fine. Ideally, this set should be able to do a lot of stalling against this team, because if I can Toxic his Alomomola and his Porygon 2, then I can taunt it and just kind of roost off any damage they throw at me, which is very enticing, it's to say the least. So that's very cool. And I guess we can give some nicknames. I'm just gonna name this Bay. I love Talonflame. OG Dragonbone. I think that's a pretty fantastic name. This is iPod Fish Dog. It just is. Make a Blastoise. I haven't thought of a name for you. Oh yeah. Yeah, Snack and Shell. Or, no, it's Snack with Shell. Or is it Snack in? It's Snack with Shell, yeah. Nidoqueen, of course, is Pointy Doggo. And Tapu Bulu, I want to make this a YG reference because Bickenback being Bull. I'm gonna name it Brazy. Oops. Hopefully my porn didn't come up there. But yeah, let's go with Brazy for that. So those are some names that I can give. So we've got OG Dragonbone, Bay, right, iPod Fish Dog. So I want to be able to outrun a Nidoking and Parting Shot it, because once I do that, then Kyurem should just be able to eat a hit from it. So I want to hit 293 on this as well. 293. And Parting Shot also should allow me to get some more easy rapid spins with my Blastoise, for example, and just, it's very nice. It can support my Tapu Bulu setting up. I love the utility that this offers, so of course I want as much HP as I can so that I can switch into the Magearna. And do I just knock out, or 2-hit KO a bulky Magearna? Valley. If I'm a fire type, and I've got, I want to see fire. What's the item called? Fire Memory. Does it have it? It does not. Okay, whatever. So we just have to make this. I can just go Physical Flamethrower, or I can do the other thing. Physical Flamethrower, sure. So that would be if I'm adamant, which I'm not. Clean, and yeah, Flamethrower does 46. All right, it's doing 46 to 54. To a max HP Magearna. I want to be able to 2-hit KO it. I would very much appreciate being able to 2-hit KO it. So to do that, we need 84. And we have 96, so that's perfect. And even if he's a lefties set, let's see, I want to be able to 2-hit KO after lefties if possible. No, I can't do that. So 84 is going to be fine. Then we'll throw 12 into Spadef so that we can just take that a little better. I think that's kind of cool. This should be neat. Yeah. And if he's an offensive set with 84, then it does a lot. Of course, it's not going to knock it out, but hey, it does a lot. Wait, what's this set? Explosion, Tri-Attack, Double Edge. Wow, that's a lot of normal moves. Holy cow. Yeah, I like this. I like this. I like this. Alright, so Blastoise. What do we want to do with this? What are potential mons I can outspeed? And are there mons that I want to outspeed? Magearna? Honestly, if he's an offensive set, what am I talking about? I just want bulky on my Blastoise. I want a very bulky Blastoise. So let's just see if I can. I think one of the things I want to hit is being able to knock out the port, or 2-hit KO the Porygon 2. Or I typed in Porygon 2 twice. Nice. Mega Blastoise. Or Sphere, if I'm modest and he's Spadef. Okay, well, I can't do that. If he's a very specially defensive one, then I have a chance to 2-hit KO it. Of course, he's not going to want to switch in to that thing, but hey. My Blastoise, I just want to, I guess, outspeed a really bulky Necrozma. So, Necrozma, 194, so something like 24. Let's hit 201. Let's just do that. 201. That just gives me some, and then we'll just throw the rest into special attack and bulk. Here's what we'll do. I want more bulk on it, so that's cool. I think that'll work. I've said that this thing is cool, and I've not once mentioned that it's nice, so it is cool and it's nice, so I'll just have to put that out there. Also, this will let me speed creep a Venusaur a little bit. Of course, I think it's possible he could run some speed on it, but that's just whatever. And Magearna, if he's like modest max, Magearna, modest max, what's that hitting? 229. I don't want to invest that much speed, especially if I'm not hitting it insanely hard. Okay, next with Nidoqueen. Nidoqueen, I want to outspeed a Magearna no matter what. Timid. I just want to do it. Like, that's all there is to it. So I'm gonna hit 252 with this thing. So that's where do I want to do that? Yeah, I think it's important to outspeed that no matter what. So I gotta hit 253, the jump number. So I'm gonna run max HP and then how much is Nidoqueen doing? So I'm not gonna be modest. I'm not gonna be Life Orb. I'm gonna be Black Sludge. Earth Power to a bulky set. Okay, so it's going to 2-hit KO a bulky set no matter what. That's if I'm modest. Just kidding. Jeez. So I need, of course, going to want to knock out a bulky set no matter what. So I'm gonna guarantee knock him 2-hit KO him with leftovers. So that's the first benchmark I want to hit. And I need 68 in special attack to do that. And I'll just dump the rest into Spadef. So that's going to be the set. Very fast because you always need more switch-ins to the Magearna because it's a big threat to the team. So just looking at it, Infernape could be annoying, but I think Talonflame's a decent check to it. And if he's Choice Scarfed, he can't lock himself into anything, because if he locks himself into fire, then, well, I've got 3 fire resist. If he locks himself into fighting, I've got Talonflame and Nidoqueen and Tabubulu. If he knocks himself into, say, poison move, then I've got Nidoqueen. A rock move, I can go into Nidoqueen. An electric move, I can go into Nidoqueen. If he's a special set, then special set cannot touch Talonflame at all. And I probably just won't. I'll just hard switch out of a Silvally most of the time because I need my HP on this thing, because it's my best check to stuff like the Weavile, and it's a good check to stuff like the Weavile and the thing. So we're at 55 minutes. So this is, oh shit, I have one more. I almost went like a whole hour without cursing, I think, so that was impressive. Lastly, yeah, Bulu. I'm just going to outspeed the Hoopa, because in case he brings it, and in case for no reason he runs max speed, I want to be able to outrun it. So I gotta hit 263. So I have to run Jolly, which is too bad. However, I don't think it's the end of the world, because Tapu Bulu is still plenty strong. Flipping jump numbers. And look at that, 359, that's a lot. I'm getting recovery back. This is great. Okay, so this is the team that we'll be rolling with, and I'm going to try and do this battle live, just to do some thought process. So this is an extremely bulky team. I'm running max HP on like every mon except for Bulu, but I don't need a ton of power to break through his team, because I can passively break it, it looks like, or just straight Oko things anyways, because his team's very, very frail. Anyways, that's the team. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you sat through it, then I applaud you. And this is more just practice for myself, so we'll see if I can get quicker at these, but this was a tough matchup to prep for, and I like the look of this team. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this. Leave a like, leave a comment or whatever, and I'll see you guys for the battle. Bye.
Okay, and we are back for the battle portion of this thing. So let's just look over the team real quick. I made a couple quick changes, like very, very slight. I changed Kyurem's nickname because I thought Cool and Ice was fun. I noticed that I had Talonflame at an even HP number, so I changed that because that would have been kind of annoying. Just going to make sure everything is looking good. Nidoqueen is fine to have an even HP, and yeah, we're not missing any EVs anywhere. Okay, let's get into it. So we're going to be playing Bronson, and yeah, look at all those teams. We're going to be playing Bronson, and it's Portland Poliwags, so let's get into it. I have my team uploaded into the calc, nice and dandy, and yeah, let's just wait for him to accept, and then we'll go. And I make sure to unmega my Blastoise because we're doing custom games, so it's fair to make sure that your thing is not mega before you go into it, because if I switched in Blastoise, then it would take a hit a little better, and that would like be kind of lame. Okay, so what do we got? Very interesting team. So we see no Weavile and no Porygon 2, no Mega Venusaur either. Those are all very interesting things. Of course the Magearna is coming. That was very obvious. He does have the Druddigon, which I should be able to handle pretty nicely. Kyurem is going to be very, very, very nice against his team. I do have the Chople Berry, so I can check Infernape. Just have fun. I'm assuming that I can probably just go for the Z Nature's Madness on Druddigon. I need to see how much Drud is going to be taking, because I'm assuming that it's there to be taking hits from my Tapu Bulu, and yeah, it can take hits pretty well from that thing. So I'll definitely have to get some chip damage off on it. Nice things is that his team doesn't appreciate coming into Stealth Rocks. And looking at it, unless he leads Nidoking, then I'm pretty free to get my Stealth Rocks up right away. And I could potentially prevent him from getting his up, so, I don't know. Silvally is also a very nice lead, because Silvally's outspeeding everything but the Jolteon and the Infernape, which is very, very nice, and I can get a parting shot off, so that could be helpful. And I'm assuming that he's just going to be Stealth Rocks on his Druddigon. He could potentially be Toxic Spikes Nidoking, but I don't imagine he would, since I do have my Nidoqueen. Okay, well, what do I want to lead with? So I'm thinking my iPod Fish Dog or my Pointy Dog. Kind of wish I had Ice Beam or something for the Druddigon, but Dark Pulse should still be doing a lot. So let's lead off with Nidoqueen, and it's just going to lead off with this. Do I want to get Rocks or do I want to Earth Power? I don't want to risk him. I don't want to lose momentum by him taunting me, and if he switches out, he's just going to go into Alomomola. So I'm going to Earth Power, as yeah, I kind of did think he would just go for the taunt right there. And he is Focus Sash, so what I want to do here is go directly into... So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go directly into Talonflame because I believe that the Endeavor is coming my way. Oh, this could be a bad... Oh no, he's just going to go right for the Fire Punch, so this works out great for me. So I'm going to Brave Bird here. And hopefully just knock it out. And once I get Stealth Rocks up, if he does decide to switch this thing out, then is gone. Okay, we get rid of the Infernape, and that is just great. That's fantastic for me, so that eliminates one Stealth Rocker and a big threat to the team. He is just going to go into his Jolteon here. However, I have no reason not to just go hard into Nidoqueen. Of course, he does have that Air Balloon, which is going to be annoying, but he is the Taunt Pass. Okay. So that is annoying, but it's not insurmountable. I did kind of consider just well, if I clicked a move, then he could just go into his Aloe or his Druddigon, so I guess Taunt could have been a play right there, but it's fine. I'm just going to make sure this is recording. Yes, we are recording. Okay. And goes out into the Alomomola. Thing is, I don't fear this thing, so I'm just gonna get my Stealth Rocks up here because, I mean, Scald is going to bounce off. Please don't burn me. Okay, that's nice. So he does not get the burn, which is very helpful for me. And I don't need this thing at maximum health, and I think just firing off a Super Fang would be a beneficial play for me here. So I'll just go for it and take off 50%, as he is just going to Wish up. So this is going to, he may be more inclined to just go and stay in right here, and that's going to let me get in my Kyurem. So we get in Cool and Ice. He's just going to go right into his Nidoking. That's interesting. That's fine with me, because I can just click Earth Power right here and do a lot. It says something. If he wants to go hard into Magearna, that's fine. If he wants to go into Jolteon, that's also fine. He's Scarf Focus Blast and he misses. That's unfortunate. That's very unfortunate. I do have the Chople Berry, and I'm very bulky, so I don't care that much, but that's too bad. So if he wants to go for it again, then... Oh, pfft. That's too bad. Okay, so that just happened, and obviously that's amazing for us. Scarf Nidoking could have definitely been annoying. Obviously it wasn't the worst thing in the world because I did have the Chople Berry and I could have reacted to that, because a Scarf Focus Blast would have done. Let's just, for fun, let's calc it. Oh, I bumped my mic. Sorry about that. I'm gonna maneuver this so I can type a little better. Oh my goodness, I can't do it. So let's just see Nidoking usage versus my Kyurem Black, Cool and Ice. Like a timid Focus Blast without Life Orb would have done 36, so we can take that. I think this guy's, yeah. Okay, so Magearna's here, and that's scary, but I do have my iPod Fish Dog, and I do have my Talonflame, and my Nidoqueen. So I've got lots and lots of switch-ins to this thing, and I do think my most expendable of those is going to be my Silvally, as he does go right for the Calm Mind, so that's fine. I'm going to hit this thing up with a multi-attack, because I don't want to deal with it. I'm EV'd so that if he's just max HP, I should 2-hit KO him with a multi-attack, though lefties might take him out of range of that.
But okay, he's gonna stay in, and that does 54, and he pain splits me. Okay, well, I'm going to spam multi-attack because I don't have a ton to lose from this. He's protect. So he's Calm Mind, Protect, Pain Split. Very interesting. So let's just calc the damage here. Soul Valley, Fire, I put Fish Dog versus that Magirna. So let's just say Assault Vest because he's very bulky. So it looks like he's just max HP. That's what the damage looks like. So we'll go for the multi-attack again here. And we just want to chip this thing down, as that does 59 this time, as Dazzling Gleam just does nothing. Okay, so now we've seen all of his moves, so I really want to click Toxic right here, making the aggressive play to catch his Alomomola. However, I do have the play of just going for multi-attack, so I'm going to go for it. Okay, he is just going to protect again. That Dazzling Gleam did nothing. I need to see. He might be like specially defensive or modest, +1. Dazzling Gleam did 21%, so yeah, that's really just no damage at all. So I want to plop Toxic here because, yeah, the Alomomola was certainly coming out. And now I'm going to hit him with a tech. I'm going to go for the heal block, as he'll most certainly go for the Wish. And I believe what heal block is going to do for me is it's going to prevent the Wish from getting thrown up. Yep, there it is. Okay. So that's cool. And I believe this will also prevent him from getting Regenerator. So now I'm just going to click Parting Shot. And that's going to just let me go out into... Tapu Bulu's... I'm just going to go into Blastoise because it should... Okay, he does have Toxic of his own, which is fine. He can't really do a ton right now. And Aura Sphere is free against his team. Because I'm fairly certain that he can't heal himself at all, even with Regenerator, so we'll see. He's going to go into his Druddigon here, and let's see how much this does. That did 47. Okay, so... Yeah. Does Heal Block only affect the Alomomola? Well, it took that damage, so I'm just going to click Well, let's just see in case he's like something ridiculous like Scarf Druddigon. I don't think he will be, but hey. Druddigon. So that just looks like he's max HP, and this should be a guaranteed knockout. So we'll go for the Aura Sphere once again, and down goes the Druddigon. So we are up 6-3 right now, which is really good. And he's gonna go, okay, so I was wrong, and that's okay, but at the range he's at, I don't want him to heal his Magirna back up. I really don't, so... And his Magirna was max HP, but I'm just going to assume right now that it's specially defensive. So let's see, how much is Tapu Bulu going to be doing to it? Bulu versus Magirna. So it's basically like Assault Vest. Hornleech is doing 22 to 26, and it is above that range. Also, worth noting, he does have Mono Dazzling Gleam, so that means that I should be able to set up a Swords Dance and kind of 1v1 it. So, going off that, I think I'm just going to go hard into it because he's inclined to Wish, I'd imagine. Oh no, he's just going to go right for the Scald. He gets a crit. Does he burn me? He does not, so that's very good. And Hornleech is extremely free right here, so we are just going to go for it. And we're just going to knock out the Alomomola, so that's cool. And all he has left is Jolteon and Magirna, and I don't think that either of those can defeat my remaining mons. So let's go out into Kyurem, because I don't believe that he can kill this thing. So he's Wish. Interesting. That's pretty cool. However, I'm just going to click Earth Power here because him passing into Magirna is what I do not want. So even though he's on a balloon, I'm clicking Earth Power because I don't want his Magearna getting the wish. Okay, so he is just going to go for the T-Bolt. That's okay. That's perfectly fine. I'm going to Ice Beam here and break his balloon now. Okay, so now he's going to go for the wish. That does 50. So what kind of investment does that look like? Kieran Black, Cool, and Ice versus Jolteon. Subpass. Ice Beam did 50, so he's somewhat bulky. Could he be max HP? No, he's not max HP, but he does have a fair bit of bulk, and I'm just going to click Earth Power right here. Yeah, as there's no reason for me not to do this, and this should just kind of, unless the Magearna lives, which, you know, it very well could. Magearna is very bulky, but I don't think Magearna can knock out my Kyurem with a Dazzling Gleam from neutral. So, oops. Okay, that lived. Wow, that's insane. Well, what I can just do is go right back out into Silvally because I don't want him to get a Pain Split up. Yeah, exactly. And I can just click multi-attack, and that should... Okay, he can protect, but he can't beat this. So, unless he tries... Okay, so he's going to try and save it, but I think this just dies. Yeah, it just dies. So Silvally is putting in some nice work, and this thing can't win at this point. So he's going to protect, and that's totally fine because multi-attack is always just 2-hit KOing this thing. So yeah, that should just be game. GG. Sorry about misses. Dazzling Gleam, yeah, that just does nothing. And yeah, and I guess, is he going to protect here? I don't think he will. So we're just going to go for the multi-attack, and that should just knock out the Magearna. Okay, so that's a 6-0 victory. I've not 6-0'd a person in a very, very long time, so that's pretty fun. My team worked very well. I did get a little lucky dodging those Focus Blasts, but I don't think it mattered in the long run because Kyurem easily tanked that hit, and then I had a pretty easy switch into either Talonflame or my Tapu Bulu, both of which could pressure his team a fair bit, and Choice Scarf Nidoking was not breaking my team. So that's going to be that. We're going to take a nice 6-0. Silvally definitely putting in a lot of work. Checking that Magearna was extremely helpful for me, though I'm not sure how much I agree with the Mono Dazzling Gleam set, given that I did have a Talonflame and Nidoqueen, but I guess his goal was to just break through those and then wall them with Aloe, I guess. I don't know. But my plans worked, and that's fun. Didn't really have to use anything too much, and yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, drop a like, leave a comment, talk about the game, let me know what you thought, and if you sat through the whole hour plus of this, then I applaud you, because I think I'm just going to put these in one video. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all later. Bye.